Overtrading is one of those topics traders love to ignore until it destroys their account. It doesn't matter whether you're trading forex, crypto, stocks, futures, or options. If you overtrade, your account bleeds out slowly, quietly, and consistently. And the worst part? Most traders don't even realize they're overtrading until the damage is already done. In today's video, we're breaking down why overtrading is the silent killer of your trading account, how it sneaks into your behavior without warning, and how you can finally break free from it before it takes out your capital and your confidence. Let me paint a picture. Imagine waking up, opening your charts, and seeing the market move without you. Suddenly the mind starts racing. I should have taken that trade. I knew it. So you start chasing. Then you see another setup forming. Maybe this one makes up for the last one. You click again, and again, and again. Before you know it, you've placed 7 or 8 trades, all before lunch. At the end of the day, you look at your account and wonder how you lost more in one session than you made in the entire past week. The problem wasn't your strategy. It wasn't the market. It was overtrading. Overtrading isn't just taking too many trades. It's deeper than that. Overtrading is any trading behavior driven by emotion rather than logic. It's when you take trades your strategy never asked for. It's when you trade because you feel like you have to trade, not because you've identified a real opportunity. It's when your frequency increases while your discipline decreases. Overtrading is the space where impulse replaces planning. It often starts in subtle ways. Maybe you risk just a little more because you feel good about this one. Maybe you take a setup that doesn't meet all your rules, but it looks close enough. Maybe you take a trade right after a loss because you want revenge. Individually, these moments don't seem dangerous, but collectively, they form the foundation of account destruction. Because when you're overtrading, you're no longer following your system. You're following your emotions, and emotions don't know how to trade. The truth is, overtrading is almost always psychological. It's rooted in the way the human brain responds to uncertainty, excitement, loss, fear, and reward. And trading is like a playground for these emotional triggers. First, there's FOMO, the fear of missing out. The market moves fast, and no one wants to be left behind. When traders see candles ripping in one direction, the fear kicks in. If I don't get in now, I'll miss the move. So they jump in late, often at the worst possible moment. Then comes the illusion of opportunity. Because markets are always moving, traders believe opportunities are everywhere. But movement is not opportunity. Just because something is happening doesn't mean there's a high probability trade to take. But the brain sees movement and mistakes it for potential profit, prompting more trades than necessary. Another psychological cause is the addiction to dopamine. Every time you place a trade, win or lose, you get a rush of adrenaline and dopamine. This chemical cocktail creates cravings that push traders to trade more, independent of whether the setup is valid. Over time, some traders don't even trade for profit. They trade for stimulation. And finally, there is revenge trading, the most dangerous form of overtrading. After a loss, especially a painful one, traders want their money back. They want to feel redeemed. That urgency creates reckless decisions, oversized positions, and rushed entries. All of this is overtrading in disguise. Overtrading doesn't usually blow up your account in one big move. It's far more dangerous than that. It destroys your capital silently, slowly, consistently, over time. You don't notice it day to day, but weeks later, when you check your equity curve, you see it. That steady, downward bleed. One of the biggest ways overtrading kills your account is through increased transaction costs and spread fees. Every trade you take, valid or not, costs money. If you're placing 10 trades a day but only 2 are part of your real strategy, the other 8 are eating up your account through fees alone. And if you're trading leveraged instruments, even tiny spreads add up quickly. Overtrading also amplifies your exposure to low-probability setups. Your strategy is built around edge, situations that statistically work in your favor. When you overtrade, you're stepping outside that edge and essentially gambling. That means you're now risking real money on setups that don't carry your statistical advantage. Additionally, overtrading destroys your mental capital, your confidence, clarity, and discipline. Every bad trade, every impulsive decision, every moment of frustration chips away at your psychological resilience. Eventually, even when a perfect setup appears, you're too mentally exhausted to execute it correctly. You hesitate, you second-guess, you mismanage. Overtrading turns your mind into your worst enemy. And of course, the most obvious impact, unnecessary drawdowns. When losses stack up from reckless trades, your account shrinks. And the smaller your account becomes, the harder it is to climb back. A 10% loss requires an 11% gain to recover. A 30% loss requires a 43% gain. A 50% loss requires 100%. Overtrading accelerates these drawdowns dramatically. Overtrading rarely stops at a few extra trades. It usually triggers a full psychological spiral. It often begins with a single emotional trade. Maybe a small loss. Maybe a missed opportunity. But once that emotional door opens, it's hard to close. You take one more trade to compensate, then another to make up for that one. Losses start to compound. Frustration builds. You feel the need to trade more to fix the problem. Before you know it, you're no longer trading the market. You're trading your emotions. This spiral is incredibly common among new traders, but even professionals can fall into it during stressful periods. The market has a way of magnifying whatever emotional weakness you're carrying. If you're stressed, you'll push too hard. If you're bored, you'll trade just to feel productive. If you're anxious, you'll force trades for reassurance. And here's the dangerous truth. The more you overtrade, the harder it becomes to stop, because overtrading becomes a pattern, a habit. Habits rooted in emotion are difficult to break. They stick to you. They disguise themselves as productivity, hustle, passion, and grinding. In reality, they're destroying your discipline one trade at a time. Not all high-frequency trading is overtrading. Some traders, like scalpers or liquidity hunters, place many trades a day by design. But the difference is simple. Their trades align with their strategy. Overtrading has nothing to do with frequency and everything to do with intention. Ask yourself these questions. Are you taking trades based on a well-tested strategy? Are you following clear rules for entries, exits, and risk? Are you trading because your edge presented itself, or because you felt bored, anxious, or frustrated? Are you increasing your position size impulsively? Are you chasing moves? Are you trying to win your money back? If your trades come from emotional impulses instead of systematic decisions, you're overtrading, even if you only place 2 trades a day. But if each trade is backed by logic, research, and rule-based thinking, then you're trading with discipline, even if you place 20. Recognizing overtrading is the first step to stopping it. And while it's not always obvious, there are clear warning signs that reveal when you're slipping out of discipline. You may notice you're constantly glued to the chart, afraid to miss a move. You may find yourself taking trades that sorta match your rules, instead of strictly meeting them. Maybe you've started opening trades without planning the risk, the stop loss, or the target. Maybe you keep switching strategies because you're impatient to see results. Another sign is emotional fatigue. If you end a trading day feeling drained, overwhelmed, or mentally foggy, chances are you're trading too much. High-quality trading isn't exhausting. It's controlled and methodical. Overtrading, on the other hand, burns mental energy at a rapid rate. Finally, review your trades. If you find that most of your losses come from trades you shouldn't have taken in the first place, you're overtrading. Losses from valid setups are part of the game. Losses from emotional trades are avoidable and dangerous. Overcoming overtrading isn't about willpower. It's about building a structure around your habits that makes discipline automatic. Here's how to regain control. First, create a clear, written trading plan. Include your entry criteria, exit rules, risk percentage, preferred market conditions, and time frames. If a trade doesn't meet every single rule, you don't take it. No exceptions. Having these rules written is the key. Your brain can't argue with something that's objective and documented. Next, implement a max trades per day or max trades per session rule. This forces you to be selective. The fewer trades you allow yourself, the more disciplined and patient you become. It trains your mind to wait for the best setups rather than settle for anything that moves. Another powerful technique is performing a pre-trade checklist. Before entering a trade, answer a set of questions. Does this trade align with my strategy? What is my stop loss? What is my risk to reward? Does it meet all my criteria, or am I forcing it? This one simple step can dramatically reduce impulsive decisions. Also consider adding time-based restrictions. Don't trade right after waking up. Don't trade after 3 consecutive losses. Don't trade if you're emotional. Don't trade without reviewing your plan. These boundaries protect you from yourself. And finally, track your trades. Journaling creates awareness. Awareness creates discipline. When you start documenting every decision, you'll quickly see how many of your losses came from overtrading, and you'll feel motivated to fix it. Here's the truth almost no one talks about. The less you trade, the better you become. Great traders don't take every trade. They take the right trades. They let the market come to them. They wait for high probability setups. They understand that discipline beats frequency every single time. When you stop overtrading, everything changes. Your confidence returns. Your clarity improves. Your drawdowns shrink. Your edge sharpens. You stop fighting the market and start flowing with it. You become patient, selective, and intentional. And ironically, your profits grow, not because you're doing more, but because you're doing less. Overtrading is the silent killer of trading accounts because it doesn't feel dangerous in the moment. It feels like productivity. It feels like hustle. It feels like you're doing something. But trading is not about doing more. It's about doing what matters. The discipline to wait is one of the greatest skills a trader can develop. If you learn to control overtrading, you unlock consistency. You unlock emotional stability. You unlock the ability to stick to your edge long enough for it to work. You unlock the version of yourself who trades with clarity instead of chaos. So the next time you feel tempted to click the button just because you want to be in the market, pause, breathe. Remember that your capital is your lifeline. Protect it, respect it, and trade only when your system, not your emotions, tells you to.